to the origins and the inspiration for your books, but it does seem to me, I mean, and sorry, I'm getting short for time, but it seems to me that these are very high research books, so you've had to do tremendous amount of research and then collating of all this stuff.
Yes.
So what sort of pressure is that?
Well, with Our Fight for Democracy, because I was self-publishing, at the time, pretty well the only self-publisher was a company called Lulu.com in the States. Amazon hadn't at that point started doing self-publishing. And it was all very straightforward. I mean, you decide on the size of paper, the type of paper, the size of font, the type of font, you design the cover, you do everything. And then send a PDF to Lulu, and they came back to me and said, well, if you order 50 books, it's going to cost you £30 a book. If you order 100 books, it's going to cost you £25 a book. If you order 1,000 books, it's going to cost you £20 a book, whatever. And you have to then take a decision as to how many books you're hoping to sell, so what kind of price you can put on the book. And I decided to put a price of £20 on this book, which is over kind of 500 pages. But then they produced a good book, but then you've got to decide as to about how you go about marketing, and that's pretty difficult. But what I did, I set up a website called Our Fight for Democracy, and it was a blog, and I started commenting about current events about democracy, and then I started serializing the book on it, and I've so far had over 600,000 views, and I get, even today, perhaps 1,000 views a week. And the other thing that I did, fortunately, on marketing side, was that I was chairman of the Conservative supporter of the alternative vote during the referendum campaign, and that meant I travelled around the country going to meetings, and I took copies of the book with me and flogged them at these meetings. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine said he'd just been onto Amazon to see. Oh, incidentally, Amazon wanted to take a big royalty, a discount on the price of the book. I told them to get lost, but anyway, so they will publish it, or published it without me giving them a discount. But this friend of mine said we tried to buy it on Amazon, and they said it had been sold out. So he tried to get it on eBay, and he discovered that on eBay he could buy a second-hand copy for £110. So I thought, well, I'll get onto my publisher. I got onto the publisher. I said, can I have a batch of my book? And they said, yes, of course. And I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a huge demand just recently, and I'm not sure whether it's because suddenly everybody's in favour of democracy, or they're thinking that paying 20 quid they might make 110 quid. So that